What's going on? It's Justeeni here. I had a funny idea for an intro, but I completely forgot it, so this is what you're getting instead. Um, uh, I have games that I managed to not lose, even though I should have. So, how does the one and only Justeeni Lingueeni win games that he's not supposed to win? Well, let's get right into it. What do I mean by games I'm not supposed to win? I mean, like, you just get things not going your way, like this. I moved this warrior. Do you know why I moved it not in the center? It's because I was thinking, oh man, I really don't want to run into a mindbender on turn 1. So let's not move into the center where the mindbender might be. And this happens. Anyway, but I don't resign here. I man up. I stick it out like a real Lingueeni. They kind of just let me have the city, which was pretty cool. So things are looking pretty nice, but things will not continue to look nice. But I'll have to still stick it out anyway, because this is an awfully slow start. I can't really easily upgrade my other cities. I don't have a lot of units, because I was a little slow to expand with the whole my second city getting taken sort of thing. But things are gonna... Okay, well there's a vet sword there. That's kind of a slight inconvenience, but I do get the lighthouse. Yay, I got the lighthouse. Woo! And, you know, I'm going to be able to get this city because, like, they're not going to have a rider, right? Like, their capital's empty, so they probably, like, have a warrior or nothing at all there. They might just be going super greedy. And it's good because this rider's at 2 to 3 kills, so, like, yeah. There is no rider, and they don't train anything again. Maybe another warrior here. So I can safely take the city as well, actually. And this is going to be the start of the redemption. Even though I am going to get the city siege, I actually do have a really nice plan on siege. And this is the thing, is you have to be really precise in these moments. You can't really let any opportunities slip by. Like, the city is going to get sieged, but I have the plan to unsiege it. I've got 5 units. I can do some very snazzy road plays. And I'm going to be good to go. I really just need to road one of these units. Plus all these. I believe this is like just barely enough to unsiege. And it's going to allow me to hold on with this nice 5 cities to get basically in a somewhat equal position after all is said and done. And they go for the siege, and they trained a rider. And now I can't even afford the road play because I only have 15 stars, so I'm losing both cities. Yeah, you thought things were going fine after that unfortunate start, but no, tragedy strikes again. I even mess up the micro, so I can't even kill this rider. I was supposed to hit with this rider first. But I wanted to kill with it because it had 2 to 3 kills, but I didn't realize. Yada yada. I goofed up. So they just kind of get a free kill with that rider and retreated to safety, so... As if things couldn't go wrong enough. But, you know, you still have to stick it out. I mean, 3 cities versus 6, and the opponent is IMO, and they're definitely ahead in techs. They have roads. But I see a chance, and this is why you never resign, because you never know if you're going to get a chance, and when you see a chance, you have to take it. So, what's the opportunity? They have an open capital. They have an injured unit next to it. Bada bing, bada boom, vet siege. And let's siege that too while we're at it. And how do they unsiege their capital? Gate of power as well. Get a giant ready. We're back in business, baby. That's how you do it. Just ignore the fact that the game's not over yet, because they actually do manage to unsiege both cities. We'll just gloss over that. We'll just pretend that everything went my way. No, but I did manage to get this city. Even though I did not take either city, I'm still in such a dominant position here that I take 2 other cities. The other 2 cities, not the ones that I sieged last turn. And they just resign here, which I'll take it. That's how you get it done. Terrible start. Terrible tragedy. Even after I thought I stabilized, but I've got more games just like that. So I'll go ahead and cut to the next one. Alright, so here's another one. And what I like about this one is you can really see how to play to your strengths, because that's what you have to do. Whenever you're in a worse position, you have to make do with what you have. You can resign the game, and you will lose. And you can say, but I was going to lose anyway. But if you think about it this way, if you have an 80% chance of losing a position and you resign, is it actually an 80% chance of losing? No, it's a 100% chance of losing because you resigned. But you can still win 20% of the time if you just stick it out. Only resign when you actually think that the chances of winning are too low. But we've got some good old construction. You know, I spammed a bunch of warriors and then I got construction. And things are actually starting off pretty well. Turn 7 giant, except they also have their giant. So they also rushed the giant, right? Right? So I go explore. I meet them and they already have rider roads. They have a giant, by the way. They've got Park of Fortune. They upgraded their capital. Where did they get a giant from? No matter. The game carries on. And now they get this lighthouse, so they've got Eye of God. But I myself can also get Eye of God, and that's how I'm going to get back in this game. I get organization, I've got fishing, this explorer's just going to make a straight shot to this lighthouse. That's going to give me a monument, plus I'm going to use this fruit here. Upgrade my capital. Okay, never mind. So they have 6 cities, and I have 5 cities. They have a superior economy. They have Eye of God. So I talked about playing to your strengths, right? So what's my strength in this position? No, actually, what is my strength here? I mean, I have a giant, I guess. But they've got a monument. I think they can get a giant as well. They've got forestry now. How am I getting an advantage here? Well, they don't have anything, so I have to create an advantage without actually having one. Now they have math. So what I was thinking, this is a 24-hour game, so I have a lot of time to think. I was thinking, okay, well, they've got the whole riding roads thing, but surely I can beat them to markets. And then I see them plop down math. And now I'm looking at this, I don't even have riding. I'm going to get beat to markets. So can't really win on the economy axis, so we can't just stop going for markets because then we'll just fall even further behind. So we're going to get markets. They're also getting into the water, so I can't really beat them there. I get trade. I'm just still behind. Just casually losing. They've got catapults now. I still don't have Eye of God, and I have no way of getting it, but I do get the first market. And this is going to be huge. Now they step on this ruin, which, yeah, they're going to take it. They're actually up in super units. And they've got a lot of catapults, and they get their own market. Their market's kind of small right now, but it is going to develop a lot. But I'm starting to create something. Do you see what I'm starting to create here? You might think, oh, the market advantage. No, it's not going to last. No. The advantage is this lake here. They just decided to not put any units in that lake. And I decided to put units in that lake. Now, you can look at the other lake and see that they have a giant here. What's my plan for that? Well, I can actually get my own giant, so I'm actually fine. As long as they don't put more units in the lake. Which they wouldn't do, right? Surely not. They're too nice to do that. I can get another giant, which I really need here. They've got really scary catapults, so what if they just advance, you know? They send the giant here, which is interesting. They really want that ruin, and they're willing to just surrender control of the lake just to let it happen. But yeah, you can see they're setting up the markets. I had to take a break from markets to like not lose the game. The catapults are getting sent up though, and this is looking terrible. But again, I have out because I'm sticking it out. I'm giving them the chance to misplay. If you resign your games, you don't give your opponents the chance to make mistakes. And realistically in Polytopia, you have to rely on the opponent making mistakes unless your spawn is just amazing tier. If your opponent's going to play perfect, you're probably going to lose all your games. Because you're probably not perfect at the game. I know I'm not perfect at the game. I can list plenty of mistakes that I made in this game alone. But they overextended. And they do get a nice border growth, which was a pretty neat trick to get vision. Still setting up some juicy markets, getting the giant. But their hubris is their downfall. They will lose some catapults. They will lose this giant. Their greed to get this ruin will lose them this giant, and all these inefficiencies despite their advantage in economy, and now also counterattacking to get control over the map. Eventually, it's all gonna come crashing down. Their mistakes will not go unpunished. In fact, this juggernaut going into the water is a terrible play. I capitalize on that. Their catapults overextended. Terrible play. I capitalize on that. Their giant getting overextended. I just take that out. Suddenly, things are not looking so bad anymore. Now, instead of this being a really bad position where I'm struggling to find any way to get an advantage, well, now I've just got good control over this lake. I've got this giant, so now I can start to get good control of this lake because they literally have nothing. They're sending this giant here, but I just got a city wall, so I don't see that going anywhere. They've got their defenders trying to really establish some superiority in the water. Their giant still looks very silly there. And we're just going to tear apart this juggernaut. And now the land has been stabilized, so how do I win this game? I just went through the water. I go climbing here just to take out this giant for good. And, you know, this mountain could also prove to be useful. It's a little bit of a questionable investment otherwise. And then they go for knights. And again, this is not actually the play. Knights are terrible here. Where are knights breaking through? Are you breaking through here in the south, where I put a city wall? Are you breaking through 2 giants? What's the plan? You bought 2 techs for that. You could have gone to quadism, but you decided to get knights. And you kind of have to rely on outplaying the opponent again. If the opponent played perfectly, I would have lost. But they're not going to play perfectly because, like, nobody plays perfectly in this game. This game's difficult. And that's why you have to keep playing a worse position. The opponent just might not win. Because winning is hard. They're trying to get in the water, but it's just a little bit difficult. They're trying to also get in this like a little bit. But yeah, their giant once again overextended. I just take it out, and suddenly I've got a super unit advantage. Siege their city, because why not? Continue to pressure them, now going ramming. Ramming was actually just kind of a waste here. It did literally nothing. Again, I'm not playing perfect. I'm just playing well enough. They've got a bunch of catapults, but how much value are those catapults really getting? You definitely do not need this many catapults. You don't need this many knights. Yeah. I actually got temporary dementia. I forgot that they put their knight there because I wasn't paying attention. So I'm like, where'd their knight go? It must not be there. I have like basically full vision. There's no way they'd be hiding the knight in like this tile of fog, right? So I give them a little bit of a night chain, but it's fine. Like, don't worry about it. Because despite the night chain, it is actually fine that this night chain is here, because it all works out. Because yeah, they still need to unsiege this. Now they do actually unsiege. But now, what happens if I just resiege? You know, like if I just did that, and boom, suddenly they're just dead lost here. I'm sieging this too. They can't even unsiege that. And yeah, like 10 turns ago, I was wondering how I was gonna win the game. Like no, let's go. That's not how you scroll the screen. Let me go back. Look at this. Look at this. I'm trying to find out some way to get an advantage. I just see them place down a sawmill, so I know markets are inevitable. They're getting a ruin. They're probably getting another one. And yeah, I'm just way behind here. I mean, like, no, seriously, like, look at their Look at their point of view. Their economy is doing pretty well. And their economy continued to do pretty well. Like, yeah, they were able to afford to make all these units and then misuse them enough that I could actually somehow win. And that's kind of just what you have to do. Whenever you're losing, you just kind of have to play better, as they say. But you don't have to play perfect. You just have to play better than the opponent for a long enough time that you win the game. Anyway, I thought these were pretty cool games because the underdog story is pretty nice. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Like and sub, and have a good one.